What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to BBF1 Podcast, JEDDAH Edition. Today we're going to talk about the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix.
We are finally back.
We are back.
Another podcast.
Yes, sir.
Race.
Podcast. Did you see the race, Gordy?
I see the highlights only. I don't watch the whole race because it was Sunday and I was busy. I was doing stuff. But
You cannot be busy when it's race day.
I know. But Sunday, fun day.
Sunday,
And
fun day.
I was doing some stuff around the house, and I only watched the highlights, and I like it though. I wish I can have time to see it again. I mean, like the full race.
To be sitting around for 1 hour watching
To be
the
sitting
race.
around for 1 hour.
Like,
Watching the
With a
race,
beer.
Papa. With a good beer, not a Bud Light.
What do you guys think of Checo's win? Was it cool?
it was amazing.
It was
just
nice.
It was a bad launch again, man.
Yeah, he got a bad
Bad
launch off the start.
Fernando Alonso
Really
started
fast.
leading the race, and I really thought Checo it wouldn't get the place
position back?
back.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Aston Martin has a really nice fast car too, and I mean I'm glad he did because it was a nice race, to be honest.
Yeah, it was pretty good. I mean, Alonso did have a good start. Obviously, he had that 5-second penalty because he started off of the
Yeah,
box. He didn't position himself where he was supposed to, which is, I guess, pretty bad on his part. But at the same time, like they did serve the penalty, but then they had another 10-second penalty because apparently, like they had touched the car before the 5 seconds were up. So
That's what they say, but it was they nobody say anything till the end, wasn't it?
yeah, nobody said anything till the end, and then they gave the third place to Russell, but then they took it back again. At the end of the day, they reverted the
The verdict. Yeah.
But he was in the podium.
yeah, he was on the podium and everything, but then they took away his third place and gave it to Russell because of the 10-second penalty. But then they for some I'm assuming it was because of that, because like they didn't wait. They waited till the end, which they had a whole bunch of laps to
They say they retracted because they checked the video, and that same thing happens a bunch of times on some other races, and that's why they make the decision to let him be in the third position. Yeah.
yeah.
So the same three pilots in the podium again.
Yep.
What do you guys think?
Red Bull
It's gonna
team.
be like that from now on, or
I think so. I think it's going to be. I mean, Red Bull has a freaking rocket ship. They don't have cars. Like they are on a league of their own. Like it's going to be a 1-2 from Max and Perez all the way through. Maybe Fernando Alonso can if they bring upgrades to the car in the next couple of races, and they make it a little bit faster and they make it catch the Red Bulls, then you would. But I think it's going to be those three. I think it's going to be, or Aston Martin's basically, like it's going to be Red Bull and Aston Martin on the podium almost every podium, and every now and then when you have bad reliability issues, you'll see a Mercedes or a Ferrari on the podium. But if Mercedes and Ferrari can't get their stuff together,
yeah, because Ferrari wasn't that far, to be honest.
yeah,
So they can compete. So, but maybe the next couple of races we're gonna see some nice upgrades on the cars from the Mercedes, Ferrari, and some others that can compete with Red Bull.
hopefully. I know Mercedes are going to bring. Upgrades to Baku, which is round 5, I believe. So in a couple of weeks. And then I don't know if Aston Martin's going to bring more upgrades in the next races. I know Red Bull said they were bringing upgrades, but their upgrades are going to be like just minimal. Because they already have a good car. They're not really going to change it unless they have to.
And they do, man. What do you think about the last 25 laps when Verstappen was second in the race?
I think Perez did a good job. I think Perez did a good job in managing his pace and not really paying attention to the team orders, what they were saying. It was a little messed up
at the end.
That they wanted they wanted Checo to target 33.0 and Max was doing 32.6. So, and like those team orders are a little bit weird. And
because they were just towards one side. So that's the weird part.
The biggest thing right now is that I think Max is being a baby.
It's been a bitch. It's not being a baby.
Like he's
crying.
He's just a crybaby, like talking about it wasn't there for the second place. He's not there to be second.
And I think he's making a big deal out of.
And he's mad because he couldn't keep up with Checo this race, man. Because he came from 15th to second place, and it was like that for at least 23 laps, and he couldn't keep up with them.
They got the same wheels?
They have the same car, yeah.
Wheels, car, everything.
Yeah. But at the same time, he's being a crybaby and he's doing all of this in public so that Red Bull sees like, oh my God, we have to change. Like he wanted them to be like, you can go catch Checo and we'll give you the team orders to pass him.
Yeah, it's wanna make it wants to put pressure on the team to let him be
to favor him.
First, to let him be the number one again.
Yeah.
To keep orders to Checo and say, you know what, let him pass, let him be the first one, and all that stuff. And that's not good. I mean, they bought race, and it's good for a spectacle for is they can compete. So if they keep making excuses for Checo to let him pass, there's no point for him to be racing.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's pretty messed up, the situation and the way he's being like petty and being a crybaby about it and trying to like force Red Bull to give him favoritism in that way. Like he had a reliability issue. Like you're second. Mm-hmm. Like something happened to your car, and you couldn't do a good qualifying because you couldn't qualify first, which is whatever. Like now you just got to deal with second.
Yeah, but that's nobody's problem.
Yeah.
It's just the car. It wasn't good for the qualifying thing. But it had a good car for the race. And that's when he gets mad. He keeps saying he got problems with the car. But were there really a problem with his car when you make the last lap the fastest lap in the whole race, man?
Yeah, I mean Checo had the fastest lap, and that's when if you see the radio, he says like what's the fastest lap, and he says we're not concerned with that right. And like the engineer comes on the radio and says we're not concerned with that right now. And he says yeah, but I am.
Yeah.
Which is, I mean, I understand that part because he's trying to be competitive and he's going for that championship point. Like it's a point in his favor because if he wouldn't have got the fastest lap, Perez would be number one in the championship. Yeah. So I mean, I get that competitive wise. Like, yeah, I want that point because every point counts at the end of the day. Uh-huh. But at the same time, it's like saying everything else he said on the press conference where he's like, I'm not here to be second. I'm here basically saying I'm here for you first. So you have to let me be first. Like, like he did a recovery drive. Like, what do you want? An award for your recovery drive? Like, yeah, you got second. There you go. That's your award.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
Like just because you went from 15 to second doesn't mean Red Bull's gonna tell you, yeah, here, take first place. Like they can't do that because then at that point
they could,
yeah.
won.
But then you make your other driver angry.
That's right.
He's already angry. So,
and I don't know.
But I remember when I was watching the highlights, Checo asked, like, in lap, I would like to say like around 20, if he has the faster lap, and they say
it was later in the race.
It was later,
but
they say something like, yeah, we have it. We already have it, and he not even has it.
Yeah, but it wasn't the last lap yet by then. But it was pretty far in the race when he asked to his team if he got the fastest lap, and they say yes, you do. But then Max later around in the one of those laps, he asked for the same question, and that's when they said to Max that they're not competing. There's not the main
to win the lap.
There's no.
That wasn't their objective. Like they weren't concerned with that right now.
Yeah, they were concerned. So that's when he got crazy mad and he went all out to do the lap because when they said that to him, he already knew he didn't have the fastest lap by then. So that's why he went all out to make the last lap the best lap of the race.
So the car was fine then.
That's the thing.
He's just bad.
So
bad
if you were saying like you having problems with your car and you hearing a noise on the car and all that shit, but at the end you go all out and make the fastest lap. So you were just mad because you couldn't keep up with Checo
and I think more than anything he was mad because they told him to basically, like, at the last 10, 15 laps or whatever it was, they told them to stay put. They told both of them to stay put. Like they told both of them to target a same amount of time so that they both stayed within that same amount of time.
Yeah.
And I think that's why he was mad. Like he was mad because they didn't let him push to try and catch Checo.
Yeah, because this time it was in the second place.
Yeah.
Not in the first place, like last time when they got the same order.
Yeah. Because they literally told Checo to target a certain time, and that's when Checo even said, is Max doing the same? Because he wanted to know if Max was doing the same or if they were.
If it wasn't,
then he was going to start pushing. Yeah.
But at the end, I think they told them to push.
Yeah, they told him he was free to push, but because they saw that Max wasn't really doing what he was supposed to.
Yeah.
Like Max was still trying to catch up to him.
With Checo.
And he wanted to go for the fastest lap.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Max is just mad.
Yeah, being a baby.
Did you guys see the picture of Max's dad?
Yeah, it was so
man, how
mad,
can you be so petty, man? Yeah. Like instead of congratulating him and at least tapping him, like you don't have to hugging him or anything, but at least give him some taps
really
or something.
Be happy for him, like,
but like
good job or something like that. But it was just mad serious, not looking at even at him.
Yeah,
and that was it, man.
They don't like him. I think Max family don't like Perez.
They don't like anybody.
Kind of racist, you think, or just because that's the situation?
Because that's
that
their boy.
That's the golden child.
The golden child. He's the one making the money for the family.
Yeah.
So, do you think that Max and Perez, they should run in different teams to be more like attractive, the F1?
No, because the car is the car.
The car is not the driver?
In Formula One, it's a lot of it has to do with the car. It's partly the driver too. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, there's a 50-50. Like, the driver has to have talent. Yeah. You know, and you can see that with Max and Checo. Like, you can see Max usually comes out ahead all the time with Max and Checo. Mm-hmm. And then you can see that with other drivers too. Like, you can see other drivers in different cars. Like, you see the driver that is a little bit more talented and can extract more out of the car. But usually it's the car. Like, there's a big chunk of it has to do with the car and how aerodynamically
Was prepared.
how aerodynamically it is, how good it is aerodynamically and engineering wise. So a lot of it has to do with the car.
So every team needs to use the same type of cars, but they can add whatever they want to the motor or to the car, like or.
So every team they have a concept where they can draw from, which is why all the cars kind of look similar, but they can't look the same. Every team has to have a different way of doing things. That's why there's a lot of discrepancies in the times when the cars run, because every team has different ways of doing things, and some teams do it better, like Red Bull, and some teams like Haas or like Williams, they don't have the engineering capability to do it just as well. That's why they're at the bottom of the races all the time. But they have a concept where to draw from, but they have to do it differently. The engines, there's only a certain amount of engine manufacturers that are allowed in F1. So right now it's only Honda, Mercedes, Ferrari, and Renault. Those are the only 4 manufacturers that engine manufacturers that are in there. So like Mercedes has their Mercedes, Ferrari has their Ferrari engine, and then Red Bull has Honda engines, and then Alpine has Renault engines.
Do you see people go buy a Honda? You got a better car than Ferrari.
But like the other teams, like Haas has a Ferrari engine behind them. Aston Martin has a Mercedes engine. That's why they're saying that they don't know what's wrong, because half of the Aston Martin, it belongs to Mercedes, because they buy a lot of parts from Mercedes.
Okay, they allowed to do that, to like exchange parts. I mean, buying it though, but
yeah, they're allowed to buy certain parts. Other parts they have to manufacture themselves, and they have to have their own design. That's why when they said that the Red Bull looks like that, the Aston Martin looks like the Red Bull. That's why they're saying that it looks the same, because like they usually, a lot of the teams copy other designs, but they do it a little bit differently, so it doesn't look like the same, but it's usually the same car. Yeah. But this has always been the thing. Like back when Perez was riding for the Alpine right now. No, actually it's
the one with the pink suit, right?
Yeah. No, but it's actually Aston. Was it Aston Martin?
It was there too.
No, but before no, Alpine was Renault. No, so before Aston Martin became Aston Martin, it was a different team. I think it has been a different team.
It was
Force India.
Yeah.
Australia. No.
Yeah, I think it was Force India, and Perez was with them. Perez was with Force India, and the car concept.
Kick him out.
Yeah, the car concept. The car concept that they had was copied from. They had a big thing where they copied Mercedes's car from like 2020 in 2021, I believe, or 2019 and 2020. But the thing is, they copied their car and they said it was the pink Mercedes. They called it the pink Mercedes. Yeah, but there's always been like teams try to copy the best teams because
this car.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, because they got the better.
Yeah, so that's why everybody's trying to copy what Red Bull is doing, and as much as they can, obviously.
Man, but if you see Red Bull team, it's not only good in F1. The motorcycles teams that they have, and bicycles teams that they have, skateboards teams. Yeah. Everybody from Red Bull is doing fucking great. Not only in driving cars, they have a lot of capability of doing different sports, and all those sports are doing great. So Red Bull is a good team.
Yeah, Red Bull is pretty good.
They got the money, right, to buy all the engineers, to get all the gear.
Yeah, they are rich.
Red Bull, man. When you have money, you have money, papa. No limits.
Yeah.
You can break the market.
And who makes more money, though, Max or Perez?
Max.
But he's younger, right?
Yeah. But it's because he's
a good driver though,
He's a
because
good
he
driver.
came from 15 to second place this race, man.
He's a good driver, but he's not a complete or professional driver for me.
He's
the way I
not
see
in a team
He's not a team player.
player.
He's just
That's
a
the thing.
me.
Yeah, that's a me guy.
So, I mean,
Only me.
Yeah.
only me.
But it was a good race. No crashes though. I don't remember.
No, there weren't any crashes. There was a safety car because
What
Lance
do you
Stroll-
think about that safety car at the end?
that was bullshit safety.
Yeah.
I know, right? Everybody's saying the same thing because
Yeah, that could have been
The
a virtual
car
safety car.
the car that stops, it was already out of the track.
Yeah, it was already out of the track. Like they didn't
so
need
we
to.
then launched the safety car. That was too late. But
Yeah,
they
they-
did anyways.
They didn't need to launch the safety car. They just launched it out of being dumb.
And that helps a lot.
Yeah, that helped. I mean, it helped. It helped Perez too because he got a free pit stop. You know, so that was pretty good for Perez too. But at the same time, it's bad for Perez because now you have all the
Everybody
cars
catch up
behind
to
you.
you. Yeah.
And in the virtual safety car, he would have had a gap. He would have still had a gap to the cars where he was. He would have gotten a free pit stop, but he would have still had, breathing room. But at the same time, he did a really good job on the restart. Like he really managed
It did a good. It make a lot of space after that. Man.
yeah.
He kept the
So
advantage.
he managed it well.
Yeah.
But Max is. I mean, we'll see what happens in Australia in 2 weeks.
In 2 weeks, man.
That's gonna be a good race too, man.
I don't know. The track is really ugly.
That's why it's gonna be a really challenge for these guys. Especially, I don't know about the weather though. How's the weather over there right now? It's cold, hot,
I don't know.
chippy.
We'll know that in 2 weeks.
Google, help me out right here.
Australia, Melbourne.
That's fucked up, man.
Yeah.
Do you hear about Lewis Hamilton? The interview he had Saturday. He was saying he can't feel the car.
Yeah, he's saying he's not connected with the car. He doesn't like the car as much.
That's sad, bro. Like you can see the sadness on his face, and I feel bad for him, man. So what is going on there? Like they're not providing the part that he asking for. Why is he not feeling comfortable with the car? Like he doesn't feel connected with it.
Well, I mean, the main thing is that like they have a concept, which is the car they have right now, and like all of their data is saying that the car is good, but outside it's not that good. You know what I mean? So like all their data is saying that the car is good, but when the drivers are driving it, it's not that good. And for some reason Hamilton just can't get to a spot where he can trust the car. That's the main issue.
Yeah.
So
That's really bad for the team too, man, because they're not making anything out of there.
yeah.
So it's always 6, 7 place, and that's gonna be the story of the whole season.
Yeah, but at the same time, I mean, I think he's being a little bit of complaining as well, because I mean he's doing a pretty
He did a better
job, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying that he's not he's better than Hamilton, but at the same time, like Russell is extracting a little bit more from the car, so there is a little bit more there. You just need to. I mean, he needs to like
probably
look
too.
where.
That's one of the reasons too, because
But hopefully they bring up some good upgrades for Baku, and it helps them a lot more with their aerodynamic problem that they have, and they can lower the car a lot more, and it helps at that point.
yeah, because Hamilton is having a hard time.
Yeah.
And he drove the car from the last season, and it was amazing. It was another story.
Yeah,
He
from
say he was
2021.
super happy and all that. And I mean, I don't know what's going on really there, but what if they know? No, I mean, they are not providing what he's asking for because he doesn't feel happy. But the reason behind that, we don't know. Maybe he's ready to leave Mercedes
Maybe the budget.
because if
don't-
he is asking for something and he's not getting that, maybe he's getting ready to get out of Mercedes and
He's old too for be racing, no? It's like 30,
Fernando's older.
yeah.
30 something, 38.
He's 38, I think. But I mean, I don't think he's going to leave Mercedes. But I mean, they do have to look into what they're doing wrong, because obviously, like at this point, they're doing something wrong, and the data that they're collecting is telling them one thing, and then the real life application is telling them something totally different.
Yeah, because the past season, it was getting better races, man.
Yeah, it was getting like towards the end, it was getting better and better and better, and now it's like
they're
now
starting
you're
from
back.
nothing again.
Yeah, now you're back to zero again. With what did you do over this over the winter?
Yeah, that's crazy, and I mean, I feel sad. I feel sad with him because it doesn't feel good, man.
Yeah, I mean they're struggling, but hopefully, like I said, like they brought in James Allison back to go back into the aerodynamic role. So hopefully he does a good job in providing them better parts. Hopefully the upgrades that they bring to Baku are significant and they can close the gap a little bit, at least to the Red
cars,
Bulls.
yeah.
Because those Red Bulls are going to run away with it.
They're gonna be 1-2 for the next couple of races. Yeah, that's gonna be crazy. And if the full championship keeps running like in just 2 pilots, what's gonna happen? Who's gonna get told to let the other one be the one?
I mean, Checo just has to put his foot down, you know? Checo just has to be like, F you. F you
I'm
and
just-
you.
Yeah, it gotta be like that and fight for him.
Yeah,
Like he
he's-
did this past race, man.
Yeah, he has to put his foot down, and at the same time, like obviously he has to try and beat Max, especially in qualifying. But more than anything, like he has to put his foot down and be like, nope. Like when he's ahead, he has to be like, nope. If he wants to
Yeah.
pass,
You gotta fight with
he
me.
got to fight with me or whatever. I mean, and the thing is, like it's gonna be like that situation with Rosberg and Hamilton back in 2016. Like you have to get to Max somehow. And the thing is, like he's getting to Max. Like he's frustrating Max because like Max looks frustrated.
Yeah, he
Like Max
does.
looks like
Like, really, really mad.
like
He
he's
can't do the
crying, like not that he can't do the job, but like he's feeling the oh, I'm not number one anymore, or I'm not being favorite. I don't have that favoritism now, and like he's getting to his head, and that's the one thing he has to do.
But you think somebody is giving the orders to let them compete, or it's just happening because
I think
it gotta
it's-
happen?
I think it's just happening because it's happening right now because of how everything is being placed. Like it happened right now because of Max's quali where he had a bad car. You know, like that's why it's happened. That's why it happened today. But any other race, like we still have to figure out and see what's gonna happen when Checo gets in front and pulls away from Max a little bit, and then Max catches up to him, and we're gonna see what's gonna happen there.
Yeah.
Will Alonso catch up to Max and leave in the front of
I don't think there's competition there.
No?
I mean,
Not yet. I
It's
mean,
a
maybe.
good car, but it's not that good yet.
But maybe with some upgrades, you know,
They can do upgrade
Yeah,
during the
everything
races.
can happen,
during the season.
but I don't know. They are too far ahead. Like,
Yeah, but like I mean, just Perez just has to fight like hell. I mean, like I said, he has to do like Rosberg did in 2016. He has to get into Max's head. He has to frustrate him a little bit. He has to play games the same way Rosberg did in 2016. And even then, like a lot of people were like, oh, Rosberg beat Hamilton in 2016. like, did he really? Because like, in 2016, like, he played a lot of games with one of them was Monaco. He locked up into one of the turns and he went to the out to the runoff area, and that stopped Hamilton from getting his lap in. Kind of the same way they said Checo did it in last season in Monaco.
Oh, Monaco.
It stopped Hamilton from getting the fastest lap at that race and putting him on pole. So like he has to play games with them. And even then, like even in 2016, Rosberg had 9 wins. Hamilton had 10 wins that season. Like the only reason Rosberg won was because of points. He was ahead of Hamilton in points, and Hamilton had reliability issues in his car.
Same thing is happening right now.
Yep.
So hopefully like Perez puts his foot down, and he like all Perez has to do is just play a little mind game, say a little couple of things on the radio, and just piss him off and make him see that he's not number one, or he's not getting favoritism from the team, or things like that.
Yeah, that more than anything.
Things like that where Checo doesn't care, and he's like he just keeps pushing, and that's gonna frustrate Max, because at that point, like he can't tell the team to give him the position. You know what I mean?
You saw what Max Verstappen did when they were on the seats. He went and sit in the first place seat.
Yeah.
That's just a crybaby, stupid thing to do, man. Because you already know that's not your spot for this race. So why are you doing? And he went and congrats Alonso, and he say anything to Checo.
Yeah.
So that's fucked up, because I mean, we all know you're fucking mad.
Yeah.
But
that's what Checo needs to do. Like he needs to keep trying to win races, or at least
he needs to push.
He needs to win
hard,
races.
man. He needs to push it and prove that he is a good driver to compete versus Max.
And right now, like everybody's like, even like Helmut Marko and Christian Horner are like, whoa, they're competing. They're we're gonna let them race, and we're gonna do this. And even Helmut Marko's like,
it's the second race.
Yeah. No, but they should let them race. Like as long
I
as
hope so.
as they're racing cleanly and the points are right there. Because if Max goes away for points, then I understand. But if you get if you keep going like this,
1-2,
where
1-2,
where you have 1-2, 1-2, and or
you have 1 point and one.
Yeah, or they're separated by 5 points or whatever. Like you have to let them race, because that's
competition.
Yeah, that's competition.
That's how
At
they
the
grow.
end, we'll see who's better driver.
Yeah,
because we're gonna see that at the end.
Because even when they asked Max that same question, like that, they said that the team is making them. There's no 1-2 driver, and they're making them race. And Max even said, yeah, well, at the end of the day, that means they're going to let us race, and they're going to let us race. We'll see who's the best at the end. We'll see who's the better driver.
Who ends in front is the best.
Yeah, but the cool part is that Checo's like, yeah, that's good for the team, and that's what Checo needs to do. Like he needs to piss Max off to where he can get him out of his head. You know, like he can get him off of that concentration, so that he can be pissed at something else. And
it needs to be peace all.
So he's gonna be playing.
Long.
He's gonna be playing with his brain, right?
Yeah, I mean,
you gotta play with his mind.
I mean, he's gonna play.
Even though I like Checo and I'm a fan of Checo, like he doesn't have Max's talent. Max is a great driver.
It is.
Like Max
proved that on this race, man. Like from 15 to second place, but at the end of the day, the car is an amazing car, and if Checo doesn't make mistakes during the race, it's gonna happen the same thing. He's not gonna catch up to Checo.
Yeah, and what Checo needs to do is just, like I said, just beat him. Try to beat him at least. Maybe he won't beat him all the time, but even like what Checo needs to, mainly what Checo needs to do, because he's mostly always gonna be in second place when he starts, is Checo needs to get ahead of Max right off the start, and just keep him there.
Keep fighting. Yeah.
And just just get ahead and just stay there and ignore team orders And if they say something, just ignore it and just get in his head that way. Because Max is a freaking master at a 1 lap quali, man. Like that dude can extract.
Yeah.
Like in terms of pushing the car to the limits, I've never seen anybody like Max, what he does with the car. And even in sim racing, when he races in the simulator, what this dude does is he turns the engine sounds all the way off, and he turns the tire sounds up so that he knows when the tire starts screeching that he's at the limit of the tire to that's where he's at the limit of the car. Like that guy is he's so in tune with the car, and he can extract every single piece of
every aspect of the car.
Yeah, like he pushes that car so hard, and he's just like 1 lap quality wise. I don't think Checo can beat Max every time. He's gonna beat him every once in a while when Max makes a mistake.
But he needs to take that opportunity.
But the biggest opportunity that he needs to be quick on the line. He needs to get in front of Max. Yeah, he needs to jump him on the start and just fight him in that first lap till he can get the position and go from there.
It sounds really good, bro. I wanna find you a job over there with these guys so they can. I still think that Checo Perez have more intuition or attraction in the tracks. Like he knows how to read it better than Max. Probably Max run it better than him, but I think this guy can read the laps faster and knows faster when he needs to brake, when he needs to accelerate, when he needs to do all the changes in the car.
Well, he's more experienced because he's been there longer.
And he does a great job with the tires because he doesn't degrade the tires that much. And he does a great job doing racing.
He has everything to be the best.
Yeah, but it comes a lot from experience. But at the same time, talent is talent.
Yeah, talent is talent.
I mean,
you're born with talent.
Yeah, some people have more talent than others, and like Max is super talented.
But he cried too much.
But he does cry too much. But he is super talented
because he wants all the favoritism towards him. So
yeah, he doesn't want to fight with his teammate. He just wants to cruise.
He wants to win every single race and not having to care about anybody else.
Yeah, that's the main reason why he didn't let Checo pass in Brazil last season, because he doesn't want to give up his spot as a number 1 driver. Like as long as he's not fighting with another team, he wants to be able to cruise by himself, and not have to worry about his teammate.
Having to compete with anybody.
Like a solo team, he just drive like a solo team then.
Yep, that's what he wants to do, actually.
Faster cars.
Yeah, Checo
but
needs to take the
Checo,
opportunities, man. And he
I hope
needs to make the most
Checo takes it to him
out of every single situation he got. So I hope he does good in every single race, to be honest. Because Checo is amazing. He's an amazing driver.
Yeah.
But he crashed too much too.
Yeah, that's a bad thing.
So what do you guys think? Do you guys like the whole race? Do you guys see the race? Do you guys
see the highlights?
Do you guys saw only the highlights like I did?
Like I did.
I don't have the platform to see the.
Too expensive, Papa.
That's expensive.
They need to lower the prices, man. They're making a lot of money. They need to lower the prices.
I just cancelled my Netflix subscription, so yeah. But it was amazing. Every single race is exciting, and there's a lot of adrenaline running around when you're seeing the race. So
a lot of people were screaming, amazing. Bro. You when they have the cameras like towards the public, like people watching the race in there, you can see all these people screaming and having a lot of fun, bro.
Yeah, because there is a lot of adrenaline running around your body.
Yeah.
So I will do the same thing.
I hope we can go one day.
One day.
One day
we're going to be there for every single race.
It gets boring. Maybe one and another one here and there. Not all
Why
the time.
not? If you can do it, why wouldn't you? Like, I would do it.
We'll see.
True.
We'll see what the future brings. But for now on, Checo, échale ganas in Spanish so you can understand.
Do you know Checo is the one who sell most product on the store of
Yes.
Red Bull?
The heads, they sell a lot of heads, a lot of not the t-shirts, the other one with the bottom up.
So maybe
That's good.
they're seeing that too.
Checo has a lot of popularity.
Yeah. It's not just Mexico supporting him. It's Latin America, like every other single country where they speak Spanish or things like that. There's a lot of people here from supporting him
Dude, I see
US.
Mexican flags
everywhere. Yeah.
over there by
Yeah, there was
the race.
Mexican flags there in Saudi too. Like there were like there was there's a part where they showed like the dudes with fucking Mexicans over there, fucking Mexicans.
Fucking Mexicans, and they're following
Just-
everywhere. They're going to every single race too. So
That's
That would
when
be
you got
so-
money, man.
yeah, that's true. That's something I would like to do someday.
Yes.
Someday.
Someday.
Sundays.
But for today, I think that's it. No.
I think that will be it. And you already know what to do. Drop a like, subscribe,
Yes.
comment down below what do you guys
What do
think.
you guys think?
Where you guys watch the races for free? This is really expensive.
But yeah, I think we see you in the next one in 2 weeks.
See you guys in 2 weeks at the Australian GP.
GPs.
See you.
Have a good
guys.
day.